Angel Reese just made WNBA history, and not the kind you want to remember, but of course absolutely hilarious. The Chicago Sky forward went completely scoreless from the field against the New York Liberty, missing all 8 of her shot attempts in what became the most embarrassing performance of her professional career. Well, it may be time for Angel Reese to consider taking up a different game. Tiddlywinks, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what game she wants to possibly take up. I know one thing. She can't wait for the unrivaled season to start. At this point, guess what? It wasn't just Reese, but the entire Sky team. We'll reveal the shocking statistic that makes this the worst start in WNBA history. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. You know what happens when a professional basketball player can't make a single shot from the field? You get Angel Reese's performance against the Liberty. Actually, let's be real. You get Angel Reese every game. This particular disaster saw Reese go 0 for 8 from the floor, managing just 2 measly points from free throws. 2 points in a professional basketball game. From someone who averaged 13.6 points per game in her rookie season to 2. The breakdown of what went wrong reads like a comedy script. Reese missed 4 separate shots under the rim during one single possession after grabbing her own rebounds repeatedly. Picture this. She gets an offensive rebound, goes back up, misses. Gets another rebound, goes back up, misses again. Rinse and repeat until even the most patient Sky fans started questioning reality. The viral video of this sequence had basketball fans across social media asking if Reese forgot the basic fundamentals of putting a ball through a hoop. These weren't contested shots from defenders draped all over her. Reese had wide-open looks right under the basket that any high school player should convert. The types of shots that make coaches scream at their TV screens because missing them defies basketball logic. Yet somehow, Reese found creative ways to miss each and every one of them, and it was Angel Reese setting women's basketball back 30,000 years. At this point, truly. I would say back to the age of T-Rex, but she does get rebounds, so she can't actually rebound the ball. What she cannot do is shoot the ball at all, and the same woes from last year are back, but I'm going to point something out. Her struggles extended beyond just shooting, though. Reese turned the ball over 5 times throughout the game, completely disrupting whatever offensive flow the Sky were trying to establish. Every time Chicago built any momentum, Reese would either miss an easy shot or cough up the basketball at the worst possible moment. Her body language told the whole story as the game progressed. You could see the frustration building with each missed attempt, culminating in a technical foul for arguing with an official. And another loose ball foul are gonna give it to Angel. And this one might be challenged. We'll have to see. Yay! And at Angel Reese, I think, just got slapped with a tech. This performance ranks among the worst individual shooting nights in WNBA history when you consider the volume of missed easy shots. Even players known more for defense than offense rarely go completely scoreless on 8 attempts, especially when half those shots came from point-blank range. The most embarrassing part? Despite grabbing 12 rebounds, including 8 offensive boards, nobody talks about those numbers. When you shoot 0% from the field and score 2 points, your rebounding stats become meaningless. After the game, Reese tried to stay positive, saying she was just staying poised and looking for the next shot. This wasn't just a rough night shooting. This was the kind of performance that creates lowlight reels and becomes a permanent fixture on social media. When professional athletes make history for being this offensively inept, you know something has gone terribly wrong. That's bad. If a team scores less points than the amount of fingers you have, that is a serious issue. But Tyler Marsh, salute to you. Salute to you. You are going to ride out with this Angel Reese point forward nonsense. I most thoroughly appreciate your contribution to the WNBA. Thank you, Tyler Marsh. Thank you. Individual struggles are one thing, but when an entire team falls apart, you get the worst start in WNBA history. The Chicago Sky managed to achieve something no team has ever done before, posting a negative 60-point differential through their first 2 games. Think about that number for a second. In just 2 games, opponents outscored them by 60 points total. The Sky lost to Indiana 93-58, then got demolished by New York 99-74. That's not just bad basketball, that's historically terrible basketball. What record did Angel Reese break? I didn't say it was a good record. I never said that. Shout out to you priceless, I missed this. Historically bad shootings with a E emoji. Angel Reese goes 0 for 7 from within 4 feet of the basket to tie most misses from that distance in the WNBA over the past 10 seasons. This must be a Caitlin Clark fan at ESPN. Surely nobody who follows the ESPN playbook and narrative will write this. This had to have been a darn Caitlin Clark fan, historically bad. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. The Liberty didn't just beat Chicago, they completely dismantled them while setting their own piece of WNBA history. New York connected on 19 three-pointers during their blowout win, breaking the league record for most threes in a single game. 19 threes. The Sky's defense looked so lost that Liberty players were getting wide-open looks from everywhere on the court. When professional athletes are shooting that freely from three-point range, your defensive scheme has completely broken down. Let's talk numbers because they tell the ugly truth about this Sky team. Chicago has averaged just 66 points per game while giving up nearly 100 points to their opponents. That's a 34-point gap per game, which means they're basically playing a different sport than their opponents. You can't win games when you're being outscored by that margin consistently. The turnover problem makes everything worse. Chicago coughed up the basketball 24 times against New York, leading directly to 27 Liberty points. 24 turnovers in a single game shows a team that can't handle basic ball security. Even veteran players have admitted this team can't figure out basic basketball concepts. Courtney Vandersloot told reporters after the Liberty loss, "Offensively, we haven't really found our groove yet, and I think we're a little out of rhythm trying to make the wrong play. I think it comes with time. We got to work on our chemistry offensively." When experienced players are publicly admitting they don't know what they're doing on offense, you know the problems run deep. Coach Tyler Marsh's system has completely failed to get anything productive from his roster. The Sky traded for Ariel Atkins during the offseason with playoff expectations, but those hopes look ridiculous now. This isn't early season rust or growing pains. This is a fundamentally broken team that can't execute basic basketball plays on either end of the court. The Sky's problems create a perfect storm of basketball incompetence that goes way beyond individual shooting struggles. When your team makes history for being this pathetic, major changes need to happen immediately. Is the weight of the burden of what did not transpire this past weekend also coming down on her? Because, again, here we are, how many days later? This is Friday, that was Saturday. 6 days later, not a lick of proof of any kind of racial allegations, proof, nothing. The coach comes out, we didn't find out about it until everybody else did. Social media can be brutal, but the reactions to Angel Reese's performance reached a whole new level of savage. Within minutes of the final buzzer, fans flooded Twitter and Instagram with their unfiltered thoughts about what they just witnessed. The immediate response was swift and merciless, with basketball fans expressing genuine disbelief that a professional player could miss that many easy shots in one game. Look at this. Oh my God. This is a sequence of events over 20 seconds. It's ugly. Angel Reese offensive rebound. Jonquel Jones blocks Angel Reese. Offensive rebound. Jonquel Jones blocks Angel. 1 foot layup. 1 foot layup. Offensive rebound. Misses layup. Offensive rebound. Misses layup. Offensive rebound. Holy hell. What's that? Alright. Her defenders. You can't be. You can't defend this. The harshest reactions came fast and hit hard. One Twitter user bluntly posted, "She plays volleyball all day," while another questioned, "And people say she's as good as Clark." These comments perfectly captured the shock surrounding Reese's performance, especially when fans started comparing her struggles to other players who built careers around rebounding rather than scoring. The contrast became impossible to ignore when you watched her grab offensive rebounds, only to miss the putback attempt immediately afterward. Some fans went beyond just criticizing this single-game performance. They started questioning whether Reese even belongs in the starting lineup after watching her offensive struggles. The comments ranged from constructive criticism to outright calls for benching her, showing how one terrible shooting night can completely shift fan perception of a player's value to their team. You could see the split between supportive Sky fans trying to defend Reese and the overwhelming wave of criticism that dominated every social platform. The supportive comments got buried under avalanches of negative reactions, creating an echo chamber of disappointment that extended far beyond Chicago's fan base. 0% shooting from 2 feet with 5 shots is just... wow. Stop that nonsense about these rebounds. What good are rebounds? Seriously, what good is rebounds if you can come back and make a shot? Even casual basketball fans, who normally don't follow the WNBA, started sharing clips of her misses with their own commentary. The performance was so bad it attracted attention from people who might watch March Madness but skip professional women's basketball entirely. One fan captured the absurdity perfectly, joking, "Girls out here snatching rebounds like exes snatch hoodies," highlighting how her rebounding skills meant nothing when she couldn't score. Angel Reese is sniffing around the WNBA transfer. Trust me, the Sky are a joke, and Angel will quit on this team. I'm already looking for the season-ending injury at this point. Right here, hand injury coming in, the same way it ended 2024 with 10 games early. Woo! I say it, she's in mid-season form. The criticism extended beyond this single game to broader questions about her overall offensive development since entering the league. Fans started pulling up statistics from her entire rookie season, questioning whether her scoring struggles represent a deeper problem with her basketball fundamentals. When fans start making compilation videos of your worst moments, you know you've reached rock bottom. The internet never forgets these kinds of performances, and Reese's shooting struggles have become a permanent fixture in WNBA social media history. While Chicago was busy setting records for futility, Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever showed everyone how champions respond to adversity. The Fever bounced back from their earlier loss to Atlanta with a statement win against the same dream team that had beaten them just days before. This wasn't just any regular season victory. This was the kind of response that separates teams with championship DNA from those destined to watch the playoffs from their couches. Clark's leadership and playmaking ability became the driving force behind Indiana's bounce-back performance. Even though she didn't put up the explosive numbers from her first 2 games, her court vision and decision-making helped the entire team execute when it mattered most. You could see the difference in how she managed possessions, created scoring opportunities for teammates, and kept everyone focused on the game plan. This is what real leadership looks like when the spotlight gets brightest. The contrast between Indiana's ability to make adjustments and Chicago's continued confusion couldn't be more obvious. While the Sky kept repeating the same mistakes game after game, the Fever actually learned from their previous loss to Atlanta. They tightened up their defensive rotations, moved the ball better on offense, and played with the kind of chemistry that takes months to develop. You know what separates good teams from great ones? The ability to adapt and improve between games. I felt like our defensive energy, physicality, disruptiveness was better. We made it more difficult for them, moving the ball around the perimeter. We executed better in our ball screen defense. Felt like we had each other's back a little bit more. Here's where things get really exciting for Fever fans. Players like Lexi Hull, Aaliyah Boston, Sophie Cunningham, Dewana Bonner, Natasha Howard, and Kelsey Mitchell stepped up in major ways to support Clark's efforts throughout the game. Hull knocked down crucial shots when the team needed scoring. Boston dominated the paint with her presence on both ends. Mitchell provided veteran leadership and clutch plays in key moments. This kind of balanced contribution shows you're looking at a team with legitimate depth and talent. The difference in team chemistry and coaching between Indiana's success and Chicago's disaster tells you everything about organizational culture. The Fever have players who trust each other, execute their system, and play with genuine cohesion. Meanwhile, the Sky looked like five strangers who just met in the parking lot before tip-off. This bounce-back performance proves the Fever have the mental toughness and talent to compete at the highest level throughout the 2025 season. Championship contenders don't just bounce back from losses, they use those setbacks as motivation to reach another level entirely. The way Indiana responded to adversity shows they possess the character traits that define successful playoff teams. This is exactly the kind of response that separates contenders from pretenders in professional basketball. What a win for the Indiana Fever against the Atlanta Dream. Good teams win ugly. And that was what was most impressive to me about the Fever's performance against the Dream. The contrast between Angel Reese's historic meltdown and Caitlin Clark's championship-level response tells you everything about what separates great players from struggling ones. While Chicago continues to make history for all the wrong reasons, Indiana is building something special that has fans excited for what's coming next. The Fever's ability to bounce back shows the mental toughness you need to compete at the highest level. The 2025 season is just getting started, but we're already seeing who has what it takes to compete and who might be watching the playoffs from home.